Good morning. It's finally happened. We've got a settled spell of weather with some high pressure and glorious blue sky. There was a bit of frost this morning, some lovely mist and cloud inversions. So I've seized this opportunity to take a 4-hour drive down to Mayo. And I haven't been down in Mayo for about a year, so it's well due a return. And the plan today is to follow some tried and tested ground, though also to explore some new ground. And I have a camp spot in mind for tonight, and hopefully that'll all work out. If there's no midges, this is going to be absolutely perfect, but that's to be seen. Usually when I work in this way, I have a fairly tried and tested route, and that involves following the Bango Trail, and then when you reach the wee mountain hut, climb up Nephin, which is that mountain there, drop down to the locks, and then climb up Slieve Carr, which is the big mountain in the distance. So just for the available time I have today, I have lots of time. And I'm camping on the top of Slieve Carr the way I usually do. I just wanted to make sure I had a good full day's walking before I set up camp. So what I have done is I've sort of done a dog leg. So I've come off the Bango Trail to climb up Glennamong, which is up there, and I've actually went up this way before on the way over to Carr, where I bivvied up just below the summit. So that's tried and tested ground. New ground is I'm going to drop down along the ridge there, which doesn't look like much, but it drops off fairly steeply the other side into a big quarry. I've never been down that way before, so I think that'll be a cool way to descend back down. It was well worth the diversion coming up here to the top of Glennamong. Stunning views from up here, and I remembered those from the last time. So you have just all this amazing blanket bog just stretching out forever and ever. Well, not forever and ever, but out to the coast. And you have the big hills out there on Ackle Island, and down to the locks and over to Carr. That's an absolutely cracking view. And you can see then the other side of the Nephin Mountains out to Clew Bay, with all the islands, and then you're down to the even bigger mountains down in Connemara. So I'm going to head down the way I said, down the side of the Carr, and I've actually spied a different way up Nephin Beg. I'm going to follow a river that's fallen off down along some waterfalls. I've never been up there before. You can see this sort of northeastern side of Glennamong. Again, where the mountain has just been sort of eaten and gouged out. So decent enough walking down along there. I don't know, maybe expected it to be a wee bit more dramatic than it was, but it was still quite cool. Stop complaining, Jerry. That's beautiful. And you can see just more of this blanket bog. And that's where the Bangor Trail heads away, hugging around the side of Nephin Beg and Slieve Carr Mountains. And I don't know if you can see just over the Nephin Beg, the stream that's dropping down off side there, and that's what I'm going to follow up. I think it's got back at me after me saying I didn't think it was that dramatic. That's tight coming down off there. That's a big drop. I am down, which is really cool. And I'm going to head over to, there's a wee loch here, and then I've the river to cross before the lovely climb up Nephin Beg. This is the Bowen Duff River. So this is the river I have to cross. I haven't been able to cross it yet, and the water is quite low. So I suppose just a word of caution for anyone else. Maybe somewhere really easy to cross it, just on up a wee bit, but if the water was a bit higher, this would be super tricky. Loads of wee brown trout darting about. Whenever they see me, trying to get a wee bit of shadow and hide away, which is really cool to see. Though that also means there's lots of food about, and there's definitely midges about, and of course there is, because it's near the end of April. Why wouldn't there be? It's just a matter of how much this wee breeze keeps them away. So my plan has been thwarted. I was going to camp down at Scardon Locks down at the beach. That's where I had intended to camp when I was doing Slieve Carr from the north, but had nowhere near enough time to make it. There's somebody down there, there's a couple of people there, and man, I haven't seen no one all day. There's a wee beach at the far end of the loch. I don't know if I'll go for that. I'll have to see when I get down and have a bit of a think. Gutted. Ugh. I've come to the far side of the loch where there's the other wee beach. So I skirted round the bigger beach where the other people are setting up camp. Not sure what the etiquette is, in terms of should I have walked past and said hello, I'm going up the other end, or skirting away round the way I did. I don't know. But I'm happy, I think, with this. There's a wee bit of sand here. The water level is still obviously quite high. You could just see how, again, that would the water levels would go away during the summer. No midges flying. They're about, but they're not really flying and annoying me. I don't know why that is, because there's not much of a breeze. There's one just there. And it might get quite cold tonight, so hopefully that'll keep them away. So I think this is just perfect for the bivy. Even though I have the tent, part of me was thinking about putting the tent up and sleeping in the bivy. And then if it got really bad, I could just run into the tent like in an emergency. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just use a bivy. And I'm absolutely gasping. I know I don't drink enough water when I'm walking, so I can feel my mouth dry, and I'm going to get some tea on. And it'll be the best cup of tea I think I've probably had this year. So it actually hasn't worked out too bad at all. This wee bit of beach just at the far end of the loch, and you can see I've got the bivy set up there, so that's just about perfect actually. You hardly need any space at all for the bivy. And look at that, Scardon Loch, not a breath of air. Really still. There's nearly a full moon up above Nephin, and it was actually reflecting in the water there a wee while back. I've got my cooking on the go here too. So it's amazing the difference a cup of tea and something hot to eat can make. My legs were getting really heavy, coming up Nephin and then coming down. But that has just re-energised, and again I do think I don't drink anywhere near enough, and probably I'm dehydrated, so getting the tea in me sort of helps a hell of a lot with that. So it's just about 9 o'clock. I can feel it getting really, really chill. So there was a frost this morning, and hopefully that's one of the things that's keeping the midges at bay. There hasn't been any at all, even though there's not a breath of air. So just about perfect. It's nearly 10 o'clock, and you can see just behind me the last bits of light away to the north. Just a bit of blueness still in the sky. That near full moon is giving quite a bit of light, so there's been no need for me to use my head torch, and I'm probably not, because I suppose just about to hop into the bivy bag. Still an absolutely beautiful evening. Really, really still. Not a sound. And I have an extra pair of socks with me, and I'll zip up my down jacket and put my feet inside that. I think I am maybe realising that my mountain equipment sleeping bag, which is maybe 12, 13, 14 years old, might need replaced. But if I can make it last a bit longer by using my down jacket and an extra pair of socks, then I'll maybe do that as well. So hopefully I'll get a decent night's sleep, or if not, I can stare up at the sky in this beautiful place. So it'll be a win-win either way. I think it'll be light quite early in the morning, so I'm hoping to be up with that early light. So we'll see you then. Good night. Good morning. It's just after 7 o'clock. It was pretty chilly this morning, just before the sun made an appearance. Chilly last night, not quite down to freezing, but I would say not far off it. So the wee bivy spot worked pretty well. Had a pretty good night, I think, and had a fair bit of sleep. And again, when I did waking up, it was just absolutely stunning, looking out over the loch with that nearly full moon just bathing everything in light, so you could literally see everything. It was pretty cool. So I had my tea on this morning, and I'll get my breakfast, and I'll be on my way, and I'm heading up Slieve Carr. That's me all ready to go. Lots of flying things about this morning, but no midges, so I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not complaining. So there's where I was bivvied, and again, following the leave no trace principles, you shouldn't know that I've been here, and all I've left is my footprints. I marked just where the water was yesterday evening, and you can see that it's dropped, so there's obviously more water leaving the loch than there is coming in. And again, there's a dry spell of maybe 4 or 5 days coming, so this beach will get bigger and bigger. Absolutely lovely here. Perfect camp. I think I don't think it could have been any better. Though if you are the person or people that were over camping at the other end of the loch at that beach, let me know. It'd be really cool to hear about somebody else that sort of comes in and uses this amazing, wonderful sort of isolated place. I'm up. That was a tight wee climb this morning, but not too bad to be honest. And it's a stunning, stunning morning. So that's where I'm headed. That's the summit of Slieve Carr. That's Loch Cleven, and it's one of those almost perfectly idealised shaped quarry locks. A bit like Loch Bonafrea West out on Achill at Crowhorn. High up, it's about 550 metres, and it's one I've always wanted to visit. Not going to do it this trip, but that's something else that's on my list. Possibly wild camp, who knows. Top's just over there, so don't know far to go. I'm at the high point of this trip, and the top of Slieve Carr, and this is the last climb of the trip, thank goodness. But the views from up here are absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And no more so back down to the rest of the Nephin bags. Plenty of ground here just beside the big burial cairn for wild camping, and I've wild camped up here maybe 2 or 3 times, though you need to get the right weather. I think the last time there was a really strong wind and it was below freezing, and it wasn't a comfortable night. Now last night would have been absolutely brilliant up here, and if I had a couple of litres of water it would have been well sorted, but I was happy with my wee spot at the beach down at Scardon Loch. You know what? I'm a terrible liar. I really, really am. I've come down to that perfectly shaped quarry loch. I just could not resist it. I could not resist it. Drop off wasn't too bad. Down off that ridge, not too bad at all. And this is absolutely beautiful. I could see from above that it shelves in, and then you just can't see nothing. So I would assume this would be quite deep. So I'm thinking wild swimming, not for me, but you know, I suppose that has its risks as well, especially if you're maybe up here on your own. But a really, really beautiful spot. wee spot here where you could definitely get a bivy, possibly a tent, and just on the shore of this absolutely cracking wee loch. The water is ice cold, so I filled my water bottle up with it, and I'm happy to drink that straight out of there. Probably better for you than tap water, I would think. This is the ridge I would usually come off when coming up off Slieve Carr, which comes down to the Carr Loch there. Though going down to that other Carr Loch, the really cool one, and then contouring around the hillside to get to here was really easy, surprisingly so. And I saw a group of deer. I've never seen deer here in the Nephin before. I've heard them, so I know they're about. That's me pretty much done. So that was a walk off about 37 kilometres with 1700 metres of climbing, and my feet are really feeling it. I've just done about 2 hours of walking on forest tracks with these boots, but I'm nearly at the car, so I'll be able to get them off, so that's okay. Really cool trip. Just not used to this weather, the heat and the sun, so I found that pretty challenging. Just having the dad maybe well, since away before last summer, I think. So it took a toll a wee bit as well, that. But Mayo, and especially around the Nephin and my Nephin National Park, really cool place for good big long walks, and for planning your own and sort of getting off the beaten track a wee bit. My plan to camp at that first beach of Scardon Locks didn't quite come off, but you know what, it worked out perfectly well. And I think the people at the other end didn't even know I was there, to be honest, so in a way it was a bit of a stealthy one. Beautiful night with the clear sky, that big moon bathing everything in light. And I say I didn't use the head torch at all, and flat calm, absolutely flat calm. It was so beautiful, and I think I got a decent night's sleep. So yeah, well worth coming down here to Mayo, and sort of been saving this up to a wee bit of decent weather. You know, a couple of days that were settled, because again we haven't had that in so long. So again, always good to be out, good to be out in the mountains, good to be wild camping, and good to be in Mayo. And I'll see you again, so bye bye.